patients who try when they are after 40, and the breakdown hearing the world low reserve. From the men also who discover a sperm issue they never imagined. From those couples who believe that love was enough. Fertility is one of those things that we grow up believing is always there. Like time, like health, like love. We think it will simply arrive when the moment is right, when the partner is right, when life aligns. But infertility doesn't work like that. Biologically is not philosophical, is not interested in our intentions, on our timing. It has its own clock, its own rhythm, and its own limits. And that reality is something almost no one talks about until it becomes personal, like in my case. I know this not just as the founder of Conscious Creation, not just as someone who has walked with patients for years, but as someone who became a patient himself. Someone who believed for a long time that fertility was warranty, until life showed me otherwise. My story didn't start with medicine. It starts in aviation, in discipline, in responsibility. I learned early from my mentors that no one is coming to save. My dad with a helicopter crash accident, fortunately alive, and with this experience that is not autopilot for life. You learn to fly because you take control or you fall. And I realize now, years later, that fertility works the same way. You have to take responsibility. Before the turbulence hits after aviation, I arrived at Hospital Punta Mita for 6-7 years that changed my life. 7 years watching births, learning about families, witnessing joy, loss, resilience. 7 years where I discovered that the family is the nucleus of the society. Living through a pandemic and seeing clients, patients arriving from getting our service of reproduction medicine, but also with some responsibility for the future to become a conscious parents. And fertility, whether we like or not, it's at the center of that responsibility. But even after all that, even after learning the science, I still believe fertility was something that will simply be there when I needed it. Life had other plans. Many people who come to us at the time sharing the same belief. I remember one patient, a 23-year-old woman, who told me, I thought I had time. Everyone said women today get pregnant easily. A single man, another patient, 39, who froze in fear when he learned how male fertility also declines. A couple, I remember, who tried for years, 16 years, until the doctor finally told them that we should have started earlier. Those stories are not assumptions. They are becoming today's reality, today's norm. Let's look at the science for a moment. By age 30, women have lost about 90% of their ovarian reserve. By 35, fertility drops sharply. By 40s, the chances of natural conception fall below 10%. And for men, sperm count has dropped more than 50% globally in the last 40 years. According to the Hebrew University meta-analysis, this is not fear, it's data. This is reality. And reality is the most compassionate place from which to make decisions. Yet, society still talks about fertility as if it were a warranty, as if biology adapts to our career plans, our healing journey, or our traumas, or heartbreaks, and our global lifestyle, our food, our epigenetics, as if fertility reads our intentions and says, I will wait, no problem, take your time. Biology doesn't wait. We live in a world where women are achieving more than ever, professionally, academically, economically, emotionally. A world where many wait for the right partner, the right career, the right financial stability. A world where people imagine becoming parents at 40, 45, even later. And here is the uncomfortable truth. The world has changed, but our biology has not. This mismatch between biological time and emotional time, it's one of the biggest silent crises of our generation. Laurie Paul, as a philosopher, writes, there are decisions that transform us so deeply that we cannot understand them until we face them. Parenthood is one of them. And yet, millions today will never know that transformation, not because they didn't want it, but because they wait too long. This is where conscious creation was born, not from the idea of a service solution, not on a sales side, not from romanticism, but for me, witnessing this silent suffering from our patients who try when they are after 40, and the breakdown hearing the world low reserve, from the men also who discover a sperm issue they never imagined, from those couples who believe that love was enough, and from my own story, my own journey through infertility, divorce, loss, miscarriages, and the realization that life doesn't give us what we want when we want it with who we want it, but what we consciously build. That trauma is not what happens to you, but what happens inside you, like Mr. Mate, our professor. And how infertility works the same way. It's not just a medical diagnosis, it's a psychological earthquake, the seven-head dragon of infertility. It forces you to confront time, identity, purpose, legacy. In conscious creation, we meet people at that intersection between science, emotion, time, reality, hope, between the biology they didn't choose and the family they still long for. And this is why I speak, not to alarm, not to shame, but to bring awareness to something that it's happening and no one is talking about it. It's something real, human, and urgent to see. Because fertility, it's not warranted. Because time matters. Because the family you dream of deserves a plan grounded in science, not in magical thinking, waiting the right moment, the right partner. Because I have seen the consequences of waiting with my patients, and I have also seen the miracles of those who make conscious decision before it's too late. A 43-year-old patient who thought motherhood was impossible now holds her baby through surrogacy. Also a single father who believed he had missed his chance. Now he wakes up with the sound of his son's breath. Also a couple who battled infertility for a decade now talks about how this journey strengthened their bond. These families did not arrive through luck, they arrived through intention, and that is what fertility truly asks of us. That's why a conscious parenthood who face infertility, we know about intention, courage, science, willingness, the act that what we are waiting for. We live in a moment where fertility is declining, loneliness it's rising, and families are not being formed at the rate humanity needs to sustain itself. For our future generations, this is not just a personal issue, not that 1/6 of the population we are facing infertility. It is a global issue that affects economies, social structure, aging, economy, emotional well-being of the future, our future generations. As Hannah Arendt wrote, that the greatest miracle of humanity is the natality, the capacity to begin again, but that miracle needs midwives, guides, structures, awareness. And that it's what conscious creation is here to do, to support, to guide, to bring more souls to this world, to this avatar, to experience this life, to educate our future generations, the nucleus of the society, to hold the truth with compassion and to help others that they are in the same path. And we want to create a different future, not from pressure, not from neediness, but from conscious. Because the family is not a coincidence, it's a decision, a creation, an act of responsibility to ourselves, to those parents that we want to become parents solo, or to those couples to make it a lineage for the next generation who will come after you. So if you were listening to this, whatever you are in your journey, please remember that fertility is not warranted, but the possibilities for building your family are greater than ever. When you understand the reality, when you take action, when you freeze your eggs, when you freeze your sperm, and when you don't walk this path alone, you are part of a community, and 1/6 of the population is suffering this. This is why we are here. It will be a honor to guide you, to open the conversation that I think no one else is having, or not enough, and to remind you that the most important creation of your life begins with a conscious choice, with a path knowing and trying to coming from value and take that responsibility, knowing that the time and the efforts are not walking towards what you and your wife or husband or alone wanted to bring into this world. And even life smashes you after even finding the right one. At the end, you don't have that warranty at the end. All of a sudden, we are aging. We are still not eating properly, not having the discipline, the routine, the best combinations for supplements, for eating as healthy as possible. So I think at the end, time still clicking, and depends on your journey and which timeline you are facing. Let us know, and we can, and it will be an honor to guide you in every step on the way. Because if you are at 1 year trying to have your family and it's not there, then go with our teams, with our experts, the OBGYNs, the biologists of reproduction, our experts, and we will guide you through any path, any stage. And believe us, we are going to do whatever we can and walk this path towards bringing your mini-me to this world. Thank you.